of the experts in demographics, Imam Eid Kasozi. Imam, are you as apprehensive as a certain section of Ugandans are about the results of the census?
Thank you very much. I don't think I should be as apprehensive as the Ugandans, because the majority of our people, have maybe less information about the dynamics of population issues. And what they are interested in largely is their numbers. And all the arguments that are coming up are about numbers, especially because some numbers somehow with a growth rate of I think 3.something%, the numbers did not grow. Instead, they declined in terms of percentages. Of course, there are also some numbers that grew negatively. Of course, on the, I think some too, there is some apology of some sort among the people of the Acholi and the Bagisu. And somebody is saying the data was entered badly. But I think we have to go back from the beginning of the whole process. The census is supposed to be planned in a period of 10 years. And unfortunately for our case, it was not, I think, done like that. And even at almost the last minute, they almost cancelled the census because they said we had no resources to handle it. And that one signifies the problem that at least now we have. Number two, the equipment used this time was not very familiar to the users, because I can personally state I was enumerated from my home, and time I was caught up by time. I could not complete the whole questionnaire, and we agreed with the census officer who was handling that, the enumerator, that she was to come back and clear. And unfortunately, she did not come back. And later when I phoned, I asked, what did you do the last part of this questionnaire? Much as the information that was wanted was about my people living abroad. And indeed, I have two people who live abroad. One who were abroad at that time. My child, one of my children, and my wife. And therefore, to that one, even to me, that is incomplete. A census is supposed to be the total count of the people who reside in a particular place on the night of the census, including those that are born on that very night are supposed to be enumerated. And the reason why we need census results is to use it in the planning. But if the planning exercise of the census itself was not proper, then the outcome may be a bit hard for us to use. Despite that, I think we need to give either UBOS an opportunity to go back and rectify, because whenever we go to the field and collect data of any sort, either it is for academics, whether it is for planning, whether it is looking for these numbers, we need to check it, because if you follow many questions that check others. For example, on the issue of age, I want to start with that one to demonstrate what I want to say on the numbers later. On the issue of age, the first question they ask you is, how old are you? Then you declare your age, 15. The immediate question that comes is, when were you born? The purpose of that question, when were you born, is to check the age, because in terms of, in the eyes of a demographer, age differs from the eyes of a mathematician. Those who do simple calculation, all of you, you are 1 year less than your true age. The demographer looks for the true age. And therefore, that question, after you looking at it, then we see, did the person state the right age? If not, it is corrected. So in case of the numbers, the horrible about the numbers, one of the one of the group that is really disgruntled is the Muslim community, saying that in 2014 we were 13.7%. In 2024, after 10 years, we are 13.6%. It could be true because of the numbers that have accumulated. The Catholics are also questioning, they are saying, we were 41%. We are now, they are telling us, we are 37. The Protestants, the same. Then the big question is over the born again. I think, have many people crossed over? Oh, have the born again, because they were, I think, 11 point something percent, now they are 14.7. Those are the questions people are asking. Then the numbers of the tribes. Of course, the Acholi, who were 1 something million in 2014, now they are 1.9. They lost about 300,000 people. They cannot see. The Bagisu the same. Okay? And then the other question is that people are saying, why is it that some particular tribes are growing much bigger than the others? When somebody put this question to me, I said, yes, they ought to, because they have the capacity, they have the resources, they have, if you move in some sections of Kampala, which were previously dominated by a particular section of people, they have now been overtaken. There is a whole stretch, for example, if you start where you are in Naguru, and you move from Naguru, Ntinda, up to Nigeria, up to Bulindo, if you take one time take a random move there, you will get surprised. Who occupies those shops, who are the owners of those several flats that have grown, and sometimes you may ask also, why are some sections of the roads that way have been made? You may conclude that those who have could be growing, and yes.
Imam, before I let you off, what does it mean if a census report has gross inaccuracies and quite a host of questions that are unanswered? Does it render it invalid?
Because of the questions are unanswered, does it render it with value? I don't want to dismiss it rightly. You remember, in your very station or in your very studio, this question had emerged over the population when some people registered voters, and when people were speculating that our population is about 48 million. And I told you, I remember vividly, I told you, according to the population we had in 2014, we cannot grow from 34 million and we become 48 million. That would be a high rate of growth, okay? And even also, I also challenge that there is no way we can have 45 or 42 million people then, I think Ubos had said, and then you have a voting population of 21 million or 22 million. It's not possible. Statistically, it's not possible. Because, and somehow, these results have demonstrated it when they say over 50% of our population is below the age of 17. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. So, what I think Ubos can do, I don't want just to dismiss them completely, no. I know they have made some errors, or there are some errors because of some factors. If they sat down, they could clear the results, and after clearing that results, then they go for surveys to quantify, or I think to qualify whether the cleaning and the general census plus the survey have something to help us improve the results of the census. It's very hard to cover all the people. It's very hard. I know many people were not counted.